place to keep us in chains. By show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same 1%? Trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
And welcome, everybody, to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome, Derek. How the fuck are you guys today on this beautiful Monday to kick off the week? I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed your weekend. I hope everything's going great. Just please be sure to go ahead and click the subscribe button right there, or, hit and smash that frickin' like button for me, please. But, today is no different than any other day. We're going to continue to kick some ass, and we're going to show you guys what is up. But today, I got a special treat for you guys. I got a band out of England by the name of Harker. I got the entire band with me, and we talk everything about Brexit to the state of the pandemic and how things are going over there in the UK, and the music scene across Europe. And we talk so much about this band, and they have a brand new single out, which you guys can click the link in the bio below and see this amazing video, which I'm about to show right now as well. But it's so good. It's so much fun. All they do is sit there and beat the shit out of a boombox for 3 minutes, and it's fantastic. But so guys, this is an amazing conversation. I had a lot of fun talking to these guys, and they're really, really fun. And their dry British sense of humor comes through, and it's a lot of fun. And you really get a chance to know who these guys are, and it's just going to be that much awesome. So please take a listen to the band Harker. All right, guys, and welcome to the show. We are live. Well, not live. We're recorded, but either way, we're here with the band Harker from England. So, guys, why don't you go ahead and now introduce yourselves before we get started here?
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah, I'm Mark. I sing and I do guitar.
I'm Phoebe, and I play bass, and I also sing.
I'm Matt, I play drums.
And I'm Tony, I play lead guitar and make lots of funny noises.
Oh, you make a lot of noises.
Funny noises are the best way to go. I mean, that always helps.
Yeah.
So, you guys just released a new video, and which I played right before the interview started. And I have a question. Who hurt you? Why? What did that boombox do to you guys? I mean, I had some serious, I don't know if this movie is available over in the UK, but I had some serious Office Space vibes coming from that, that damn, that thing hurt you badly. And, it was like, it was the fax machine of the, the 80s. So, I mean, that, I was sad because that was like, a piece of nostalgia right there that you guys just decided to beat the shit out of.
I mean, the thing
Blame Mark for that.
The thing is fucking broken anyway. You're not the only person who has actually either messaged me or messaged one of us about why did you destroy the boombox though? It's like, well, we had nothing else to do. It's been a year of like not doing much.
Yeah, I mean, it was a different concept. I mean, because I like the fact that no faces were shown. No instruments were shown. It was just two people beating the bloody hell out of a fucking boombox, and it made me a little happy. It just made me smile.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good.
It was quite a satisfying day.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. Well, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a sort of very cathartic experience. It was really sort of because we're terrible with having ideas for videos. But we've done a few sort of real at least in my opinion, some real great videos, because the last video that we did before that one, which was for a song that we did in 2019 called Dead Ends, we actually did a horror film, like a zombie horror film.
Yeah, I was getting ready to mention that as well, because that was a fantastic video as well.
Cool.
But apart from that one, we're normally pretty bad with coming up with ideas for music videos. So that idea was kind of backing and forthing for ages, and I think it wasn't until I suggested it, like probably the 15th time, everybody then just kind of went, all right, we'll do it, whatever.
I think, to be fair though, Mark, as well, I think it also worked from considering the situation we're in over here. It was a video that we could actually film without having to all be inside in a room, infecting each other with whatever. So it worked out. I mean, I do find it funny that it is like a tape machine, seeing as you love tapes so much, Mark.
I do love them.
That's another thing that's been kind of coming back. A band I talked to last night said that their next EP that they're releasing, they're actually doing a special edition, cassette tape. Release. I'm like, damn. So vinyl's on its way back, and now I guess cassette tapes are coming back too.
Yeah, man. I used to back when I was still studying, because I studied at music production, and for one of the courses, one of the sections, I actually set up my own label, and this was back like kind of 2012, something like that, and it was actually strictly just doing it on cassette tapes. And it seems like when I first did that, everyone was like, that's really mad, why are you doing that, no one's going to listen to it. And now suddenly, like, everybody loves cassette tapes again. I love them. I think for me personally, it's a very nostalgic thing, because the first portable music player I had was a cassette player. And I'm sure for these three as well, it's probably the same thing.
We all had the Walkman back in the day. Yeah, the only thing that sucks about the Walkman is as the battery started to die, then you could start to hear it in the music and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Does the sort of kind of thing.
Like my Walkman always was one of those ones that didn't have a rewind. It was only fast forwards. You have to kind of keep turning the tape over, because you could never, if you wanted to go back and listen to a song, you have to turn it over and then fast forward it and then go back again to play the song. So I only had either fast forward or rewind on it.
I used to do the thing where you're trying to find like a specific part of a song, and you still got the play button down, and then you press the fast forward and it goes. You could
that's how he likes to listen to it.
You could just study loads of albums really quickly.
That's the best way.
It's I've always been a sort of like, I really like kind of weird formats like that. I think it's great. Funnily enough, though, we're not actually doing this album this time around. We're not doing it on cassette. Because it's just it's been pretty hectic with the organization for it.
We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too, because the especially, I mean, it's worldwide, but the whole idea here, especially in the States, music, it's other than listening to it right now, it's dead. And it absolutely is horrific. I'm also a stand-up comedian, so and I used to be a musician as well. I still am a musician, but professionally. But getting up on stage is one of the greatest feelings in the world. Connecting with that audience, and now I go as a fan to music shows, and I get like that double feeling, because I know what you guys are feeling, and I know what I'm feeling as a fan, and it's like this double sort of warmth in my heart. And now I don't get to feel that at all. And knowing that you guys are, and bands across the world are sitting at home going, well, shit, it really sucks. And, just putting together an album, for release has been difficult for a lot of bands. And, because sometimes the mixer they like to use is across the way, and they don't want to fly, and, this or that. And it's just been a hell of a thing. But, to the bands that have actually made the effort and put out albums or put out EPs, or hell, just put out a single just to tease the fans, it's been a welcome thing over the last year, especially from the indie and underground scene, because major acts aren't fucking doing it. you know, they're listening to their label because it's all about music, and it means all about the money and not about the music, you know, because they're just wanting to tour. But you guys are out there trying to make music to keep the fans happy, and that's what I love about this. You know, the whole Indian underground scene right now is that you guys are trying to make your fans happy, and I like that.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing else we could have done this year, to be fair. So it seemed like the right time to kind of start looking at doing the second record, but it wasn't easy.
It definitely wasn't easy. No, I mean,
it's meant to have been out about 3 times now already, hasn't it?
Yeah. The original intention was for it to come out in 2020, like end of 2020. Just because that was the sort of, we had everything demoed, and we were all sort of like practicing, ready to go, get them recorded. But you know, as soon as February hit, like, no one was allowed to do anything anymore. So we actually we decided that we basically decided to hold off for a little bit longer. We re-demoed the songs again, and we were just like, let's just hold off for a year, because it's like no one knows what's going on. And to be honest, I think the sort of like holding off actually kind of, for me personally, really sort of helped flesh the songs out more, because in terms of compared to the first album, this one I would actually say is a lot more sort of like personal in terms of the politics that are going on over here, and also the sort of the social anxiety that everybody's feeling over here as well. So it's kind of, it's good that we had that break, but at the same time, it's like you said, it's very few and far between people are releasing stuff at the moment.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, at least here, the indie scene here has been blowing up. You know, I can turn on my Spotify or my Amazon Music or, you know, whatever, you know, playlist is out there, and you can see indie bands for the first time in ages just taking up the top 10, the top 20, and you're like, who the hell are these guys? And it's fantastic. So I mean, I am liking that aspect of things, but you're right. It's been really dreary. I mean, especially over here. And I haven't talked to a whole hell of a lot of bands or, you know, other people, you know, in the UK lately. So why don't you guys go ahead and for my American listeners, tell me where are you guys at, you know, as far as your, you know, opening up? Are you guys still closed down? Are you guys planning on opening up again? I mean, you know, how much, you know, is the vaccine readily available like it is here? I mean, what's going on over there?
I have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, Phoebe, go ahead.
I was going to say, Boris Johnson has set out his pathway.
His roadmap.
His route out of lockdown. And I think, was it April 12th? We'll be allowed to see more than one person outside.
Yeah, April the 12th is when outdoor pubs will open.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about.
Remember.
Yeah.
That's the most important bit, is that the pubs are
then sort of by June we should be more or less back to normal. But the problem we've got is that every time the government kind of says, we're going to do this, everyone goes, oh, it's fine now. So everyone starts kind of behaving like lockdown's not happening when we've actually got 4 or 5 months to go. Because we live by the sea, we live by the beach, and the weather's been quite good, and everyone's gone a bit mad.
Yeah.
And it feels a bit weird. It's like, okay, well, yeah, people are maybe still doing what they're told, but there's a lot of people that aren't, and it's just, we just got to wait and see, really.
Yeah, here it's, you know, everyone's rebelling against everything, and they're pushing back, and, you know, it's getting worse, but yet everyone's saying it's getting better, and it's like, Americans are stupid. I
mean, Brits are pretty stupid as well.
Well,
bam!
The majority of us are all related, so, you know.
Yeah.
My family's Welsh, so, you know, we all have We all have our connections to the motherland. So, you know, we get our stupidity from you. We'll take that proudly.
The motherland of dirt. Dirt and chalk.
But no, here, bars have been open for a while, or pubs have been open for a while, breweries have been open for a while. Thankfully, but you have to wear a mask. It has to be socially distanced, 6 feet apart, and a certain amount of people are allowed in the building at a time, and the outside has to be, this or that, and they've been taking a lot of precautions, but at least it's starting to see some light of day over here, thankfully. But one of the things I started to see across Europe toward the end of last year was festivals being booked left and right, because all of Europe was like, we're going to be fine, and now all of a sudden these they're starting to trickle off, and now they're not being talked about anymore, and they're being canceled and postponed and everything else like that. I saw stuff for Download. I saw stuff for Rock Am Ring. I saw stuff for the one thing that happens in Spain every year. I was like, okay, cool, maybe that'll come, and then it kind of went away.
Yeah, well, I suppose the big one, like Glastonbury, was cancelled just a few weeks ago, wasn't it? And there's a big, so where we're from in Brighton, there's a big festival, a little bit like South by Southwest, called Great Escape, that happens every year, but that's just got cancelled as well. Yeah, we had Coachella that was booked, and then they canceled it not too long ago. Yeah.
But all the other major festivals that we have every year were never even announced. There's one in Ohio every year, one in North Carolina every year, and Oklahoma and stuff like that. But none of those even got announced. The only one that's still announced that I know of is one that's happening in San Francisco, California, in October. It's called Aftershock Festival, and it's being headlined by Metallica for 2 days.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the only one that I know of. However, it's a 4-day festival. The first night is being headlined by Limp Bizkit, of all fucking places.
Nice.
No, you're talking to the wrong people. They love Limp Bizkit.
Oh, well,
I love the Bizkit.
I'm so excited. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean,
they love the Bizkit.
Oh. It's on a it starts on a Thursday, so apparently they don't love them that much. They don't give them Saturday, Sunday.
Oh yeah, well, that's the sort of. I suppose the Thursday is for sort of like the rock vets, isn't it? So Yeah. It's like they can't get the whole weekend off. At least they could go for the Thursday.
Yeah, they'll get the Thursday to see Limp Bizkit. I'd rather have the Saturday, Sunday for Metallica.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, it's Friday, Sunday for Metallica. Saturday is My Chemical Romance headlining.
Ugh.
My 15-year-old self would have been there on the Thursday and the Saturday.
I think anybody who like listens and watches this and hears us go, oh yeah, the Limp Bizkit, but then go, oh, to My Chemical Romance, they're gonna be like, what's wrong with these people?
I have a love-hate relationship with My Chem. I mean, because I was never an emo guy in the early 2000s. But like, just some of their songs really hit me. Like, obviously Black Parade. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, it's a great fucking tune. Yeah. But and some of the stuff that they released recently is pretty good too. But I'm like, it's kind of like how I feel about Bring Me the Horizon. It's a little bit all over the place. I mean, Bring Me the Horizon is the My Chemical Romance of the the UK, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it ain't no break stuff.
No.
Oh my god.
But I think Break Stuff is probably the one song, no matter how much you hate Limp Bizkit, when that song comes on, you rock out a little bit to it. You have to rock out to it a little bit.
We were actually listening to it the whole time we made the video with the boombox.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's one time when we were on tour and we did like a pit stop at Amsterdam, and one of my favorite memories of being there is we were in the van in the traffic and we were listening to Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, and I remember Tony going, "What the fuck is this?"
I was about to say that, like driving around that horrendous Amsterdam ring road, trying to get in that road to where the hostel was, listening to bloody My Way or the Highway. My God. With you three going mad in the huge van.
That's like the worst album too. So bad. So bad.
It's not good.
It's music about youth, isn't it? You never get tired of it.
I don't think I'd like Limp Bizkit if it wasn't for Wes, the guitarist. Because over the years, my liking for Fred Durst has just gone downhill, and you get to a point where it's just like, yeah, he is just really annoying, but that was a good guitarist.
Yeah, Wes Borland is probably one of the best guitarists of our generation, to be honest. You know, I mean, after he left Limp Bizkit, he went to fucking play with Marilyn Manson, which was, you know, but and then he's had a bunch of other things that he's done too. But they're all back together now. I don't know why, but apparently some money talks. Not the music, because their music doesn't really say anything, except for, you know, wanting to have sex with Britney Spears or whatever. It's true. But you know, the state of music as a whole has been really weird. You know, aside from the last year, you know, over the last, I mean, here at least, over the last 10 or 15 years, you know, the general consensus is that rock is dead. You know, at least in the States. But then you take a jump over the pond and go to Europe, and rock is king. You know, I mean, the festivals that we put on here don't even compare to the festivals you guys put on over there. I mean, just one in particular, Rock am Ring in Germany every year. That thing is one of the biggest fucking festivals in the entire world, and it's headlined for 4 days by nothing but metal and rock. Nothing we could ever do here. You know, holding 100,000 people versus, you know, ours maybe 30 or 40,000. Why do you think over there it's so prevalent and here it's gone to the wayside?
God, I have no idea. I've even thought about that, to be fair.
I suppose
Sorry, I can't.
We're actually, well,
that.
I suppose obviously we haven't done a US tour or anything like that yet, because we just haven't really had the opportunity to do it. I know, but Tony's actually gone to like New Jersey and stuff, and gone to the Home for the Holidays that Bouncing Souls do. So I think Tony's probably got more of an idea of what it's like over there for rock music at the moment.
I mean, the whole thing is, I mean, whenever I go to the States, I haven't been to the States since 2015. So, but whenever I've been over there, I've always gone and seen gigs and gone to festivals and whatever, and done Awesome Fest in San Diego, and I saw Rancid on New Year's Day a couple of years ago in San Francisco, and obviously did the Home for the Holidays like 3 years running. But I mean, they're not massive shows; they're mid-sized shows. So you know, it's a bit like just kind of gigs I would go to at home. So I mean, the only thing with like Home for the Holidays, obviously, is that it's the Bouncing Souls in their hometown, and all their mates come out. So it's more of a let's all get drunk for 3 days. Oh, and there's a band playing while you're at it, you know?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know really. But obviously New Jersey, Asbury Park and that, it's a lovely place and I enjoyed going, but outside of that, not a clue.
The UK is a bit like separate from the rest of Europe with gigs and music and live shows and stuff. It always feels like the crowd is like far more receptive whenever we go to like Germany. So,
well, I think the thing is with there. I mean, there is definitely a stark difference between UK shows and Europe shows. I think any band that are from the UK that you would talk to would definitely say that. Like it's pretty much a fact. You kind of, there's always bigger crowds. You always get fed. You always get more beer. You always get paid. Like, and it's just a generally nice feeling being out there as well. Because the thing that I really like about touring Europe is that people are really friendly and people want to sort of like chat to you. People don't see you just as like, oh look, here's a bunch of musicians playing a gig to me. It's like, oh, these people are really cool, and then they'll come and chat to you afterwards, which is really cool. And then you meet loads of new people. It's great. Yeah. I suppose that's probably the thing about it, really, is that I think there's definitely a lot more enthusiasm out in Europe for social events like that. I think that's what Phoebe was getting at, is that that's probably why you see big events like you said, like Rock am Ring, and my one that I really like the look of is like Hellfest.
Hellfest, yep.
Yeah, like I think that they just, it's still a big thing out there, going to gigs, having a good time and seeing all your friends and stuff, whereas I suppose because the days are always really dark in the UK, not many people are fussed about going outside.
I mean, even when you say at Hellfest, Mark, even when we did, so you've got Booze Cruise in Hamburg, which is like a small DIY punk festival. And I mean, that's about 4 days, I think. Yeah. It's not massive venues, but just everyone just sort of gets involved and lots of people to hang out with, and just a really great weekend, really. Yeah, like, I don't know, Europe, it's just different, I think.
It was a shock, like, well, I joined the band, 2016?
Yeah.
And I hadn't played any shows outside of the UK. And then one of the first things we did when I joined was tour Europe. And it's just a big shock. Like, everyone's so nice, and the shows are like really well attended. And it's just like a great feeling compared to playing over here. So yeah, that's a great one.
So it sounds like to me, and I didn't realize this, so thanks for the information, that, the state of rock here and the state of gigs and, tours here in the States is pretty equivalent to what it is in England and Great Britain in general. But then once you go outside of that into actual, which is now Europe, because you guys aren't even a part of Europe anymore.
That's a very, very prevalent thing in the album.
Yeah, you guys, because the politics here has been absolute shit. And I know you guys are going through completely different stuff, but on the same level of shit. And it's been pretty. I've been watching the stuff that you guys have gone through, and it's like, damn, it's pretty shitty. But at the same time, it's like it's to be expected with everything that's been going on, and the whole idea of just political power, and it is just out of this world ridiculous, especially here and there. And then the only other place would be like Russia or some shit, but it's insane. It's insane, and I'm glad you guys are speaking about it in your album, because it's something that matters a lot to all the other Brits and that are your neighbors. It's a passionate topic.
Yeah, it seems to particularly since the Tory government have been in power, it seems to become more and more increasingly difficult to kick politicians out who are either not behaving or are not doing their job correctly. And I'm sure, like you said, you're probably having that same problem in the US as well. Like, it's so incredibly frustrating and tiring that we've got people in charge who basically kind of like get out of things by the skin of their teeth. And at the same time, they're pitting people against people. It's like absolutely crazy. People are completely blind to it, though. Like, there's a lot of people that I think, particularly in the UK, who aren't politically active, who would just kind of sit there and they're happy with it. But I suppose that was the intent of the record, is that I really wanted to get that sort of like political side out of us and really say, look, we're not happy, and you guys over there aren't happy either. And I think more people need to be standing up and saying that. Like,
oh yeah, really. We're definitely not happy. We've got a congresswoman out of Georgia that is completely a huge racist and bigot that, you know, came out a while back and said that all the wildfires in California were started by lasers from space that were controlled by Jews.
I mean, how did
I know
they,
that's
oh my god,
that's Marjorie Taylor Greene, isn't it?
Yes, it is. She's national. She's international now. Fantastic.
She is. I don't know.
But why do people believe that? Like, that just sounds like a plot of a sci-fi.
I mean, the major Republican conservative group that's over here right now that is spouting all this shit is a group called QAnon.
Yeah,
and
I was reading about QAnon the other day, and I am mind blown.
It's
by
crazy.
the things
How many people think it's real?
About, frazzle drip, like the sacrificing of children and drinking their blood, and it's called frazzle drip.
Yeah. And they're fighting against our government right now, which is satanic cultists that eat children and are child molesters and everything else. Oh, it's like the stuff that they've said is just crazy. And this lady who is a QAnon member is allowed to sit in her chair every day and spout this horrible rhetoric. And there's honestly nothing that we could do. Congress actually has to vote her out, but there's so many people on her side, regardless of her views. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she built like a whole campaign off the back of that. She owns a restaurant where You're allowed to keep your firearms on you or something like that. It's
really
fucking crazy.
Well, what's even worse about her is the fact that she actually is a very rich lady, and where she originally lived at was a very rich town, and she was running for Congress in that town, and she was losing horribly. And then in an adjoining district, in a very poor area of Georgia, the guy that was running there decided to drop out of the race. So she moved her entire family to this poor district just to be able to run, and she ended up winning.
Yeah.
And that's how bad American politics is right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Is there's no people speaking out against that shit. And I suppose not only that, but it's almost kind of like the last track on the album, Antenna, goes into this. It's about the sort of like the cult of personality that's around sort of like TV and politics, and even some musicians now as well. It's like some of it's just like a lot of people get their ideas from reality shows and TV and shit they read on the internet. And it's total fucking white noise.
Reality TV has got a lot to answer for, I think.
Yeah.
Like in the world's psyche and the whole kind of, especially over here with all the kind of programs where you're voting people in and out and whatnot. I think people just get such a kind of a binary idea of, oh, I like him, I don't like them. Vote them to stay. It's like, no, you're not voting someone in a Big Brother house. You're like, it's the government.
It's kind of
So yeah, I think reality TV's got a lot to answer for.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, especially here in the States. And this is actually a topic I've been talking about a lot lately. Is that cult mentality? Because I've been dealing with I have been the target of a cult as of lately. So I've been kind of like jumping all over them because it's so much fun. But we at least here, I mean, obviously you're saying it's over there too, but whether it be the QAnon cult, because that is a cult, or the other cult that I've been dealing with, or just the social media cults. I'm gonna buy everything Kim Kardashian tells me to buy. I'm gonna buy everything so and so tells me to buy. And you're 100% right. We do have a cult, a cult mentality, a cult of personality right now, and it's really weird, and it's really sad to watch because people don't even realize what's going on. And then when you call them out, they're like, well, if you don't believe us, you're nothing but sheep. Like, you're the sheep. You're the one following idiots on the internet or on TV, and you don't even know what's going on. And it's like, well, everything you watch is fake. What we have is real. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It is the epitome of just idiot. I mean, just being an idiot, straight up. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's sad. It really is. Yeah, it's sad because if you don't believe what they say, regardless of whether you're nice about it or not, they immediately start insulting you and attacking everything you're about, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, we're finding over here. I've seen this a few times that with all the Brexit stuff. Now Brexit's gone very quiet over here because obviously it hasn't gone very well, but no one's talking about it. And what's quite amusing is you're getting all these sort of the people that voted leave going, well, no one told us that it was going to be like this, and it's like, yeah, we did, but like we all got everyone that kind of voted Remain got shot down. And you're all idiots. And now everyone's kind of going, you didn't say anything. It's like, well, yeah, we did. So, and now we can't tour in Europe.
Yeah, you know it's a problem when a member of the royal family says, fuck it, I'm out.
yeah.
Well, that's
it's a whole other thing.
Another sort of subject.
Yeah.
It is,
yeah.
but it's all it's all relative.
I mean, we haven't seen the program yet, so we can't comment on all that.
But I tell you what, damn, I love that TV series, The Crown. Even though I've been talking about like, oh, TV sucks, man, I love The Crown.
I've been meaning to watch it because, you know, through my Facebook video feed lately has been a lot of stuff about the royal family and this and that. I'm like, I gotta learn more. So yeah, I definitely want to watch The Crown. That's definitely next on my binge list.
I'm the same, and I think you said you were when you were talking about it, Mark, but like, I don't really follow the royal family. I don't have much interest, but it's just everyone's been talking about The Crown and how good it is. So I just finished season 1, so it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, see, I was never interested in the royal family until Harry married Meghan. Because Meghan was a very, very high-profile actor here in the States. You know, she had a great TV show. She was all about her philanthropy. She was all about this stuff, and then she gave it all up to be a royal. And I was like, why? What? You're doing pretty well on your own. I understand, you know, doing stuff for love, but you're just giving up your entire life, and that got me really intrigued. I was like, why is she having to do this? And it got me really, I was really upset by the whole situation because it wasn't fair to her, but I understand why she did it. But at the same time, I'm glad her and Harry bounced.
Yeah.
I think that's like it's interesting to hear it from an American perspective because I don't think in the UK people know that much about Meghan Markle. Like,
no,
I had never heard of her before she married Harry.
No,
and I think the view of like a lot of the tabloids over here is like, oh, she just married him for money and fame, and it's like, well, if she already had all that, then
she had it.
I've quite a different view on the whole thing.
Yeah, and our media's horrendous to.
Oh, they're fucking awful.
Like,
I mean, the TV show that she was on, I think it was for 6 or 7 years, but she also had an acting career outside of that, and she was big on, you know, other charity work and stuff like that. No, she had money. She comes from a pretty high profile family too. So, I mean, so that was completely wrong.
She gets a lot of hate from like what I've heard recently, but I don't know much about her myself.
Yeah.
From everything I've seen, she was a pretty cool chick. I mean, everyone's going to have their own different take on the situation, obviously. I mean, especially when you're, you know, 4,000 miles away, you know, so it's going to be a little bit different. So on the press release I have, it doesn't say when your new album's coming out. When does that LP drop?
It's on 23rd of April.
23rd of April.
Yeah.
So you mentioned this a lot, but I mean, you know, the political state that's going on in the country right now, and you know where you're at, and then obviously the virus and stuff like that is a huge central theme to the album, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a mixture of things. It's got a real sort of like at least when I listen back to it, it's got a real sort of like underbelly of the sort of the negative feelings I think all of us are feeling right now about living in this country, the way people aren't being very generous to people, and the way people are just pitting each other against each other. It's for me, it's got a real sort of underbelly to that kind of thing. And like you said, I think that I think a lot of our social anxiety about COVID and stuff has also filtered into that as well. Yeah. Because it was a very strange time to be recording an album. So what we did for the album is we actually we went up to Leeds, which is about 4 hours drive from Brighton. And
obviously in the States, that's like next to nothing.
Yeah,
4 hours. But in the UK, driving 4 hours is like miles and miles.
Yeah.
It's like the worst. It's so far away.
I once drove 4 hours just to buy a donut. I don't want to, so.
So it was kind of like, so we did like, it was 3 or 4 sessions. And it would be like, we'd do this drive and we'd basically spend our time in this dark studio all alone or all together. We had to kind of stagger who was at the studio because of COVID rules and stuff. And then it would be driving back down again. So we wouldn't be able to go and check anything out.
And then we would be stuck in a hotel.
Yes, because we wouldn't be able to go and do anything.
Because we couldn't do anything. So because we recorded sort of 10 till 6, like normal working hours, we'd then go back to the hotel and sit in the hotel, like, because we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And that was horrendous, to be fair.
So it was a lovely bonding experience.
It was sitting in that hotel like just for a week, would drive anybody mad.
It was
that was during Eat Out to Help Out. I don't know if you heard about that. When because all the like food and restaurant places that had to shut for the lockdowns here. The government decided to have this big thing called Eat Out to Help Out, where they opened them back up again, and the government funded, I think it was like 50% of what the customer had to pay. So then like everywhere that did food was just like rammed for like a month?
Yeah, it was absolute chaos. Yeah, it was a month.
So when we were in Leeds, just like any food place, like all the fast food places were just like had queues and queues and were like booked out as well.
And people arguing and pushing in and absolutely horrendous. And then apparently all the COVID cases went up because of it. So that was good.
So the kind of being surrounded, being kind of quite isolated, and then kind of being surrounded by very sort of like the sort of very selfish mentality has definitely seeped into the album, at least in my opinion, in terms of the songwriting.
Yeah, here we just got 3 different checks from the government. Here's some extra money just in case you lost your job. And that was pretty much it. And then, but as far as like restaurant going and stuff like that, what I've seen a huge boom in is, delivery services. Like what we have, like DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub and all this other stuff. And from what used to be like a 20-30 minute wait, now you're waiting an hour and a half because the majority of the cars on the fucking, the highway is just food delivery services. And that includes groceries as well, because Uber Eats here does grocery shopping too. Yeah. And then we also have, we have a bunch of other grocery delivery services. I mean, it's like ridiculous. Like in order to at like Walmart, for example, at least where I'm at, in order to do just a pickup order, not even a delivery order, you have to order like 3 or 4 days in advance to be able to find a time slot for them to be able to deliver to put your stuff in the car.
Pick up your food.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that busy.
Tesco's, you have to do it I think it's like 3 weeks in advance. You have to book for a delivery slot, which is fun.
That's
crazy.
Another food shop.
It's
You'd be like,
insane.
I forgot to order cheese.
Forgot to order cheese. Gotta go out into the wasteland again. Get my shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the worst.
Or you get my cheese.
Or you get there, you find out like half your order's out of stock, so you actually got to go inside the store anyway, and it's like, damn it. Yeah, it's bad. But you know, I'm hoping we see the light of day. You know, I mean, soon. I mean, it's, you know, especially like you said, the social anxiety thing. You know, but that spurs even into more other stuff. You know, such as just mental health in general, which is a central theme on my show is mental health. You know, the fact that we can't socialize, the fact that, you know, we're stuck at home, and, you know, suicide rates here are through the roof. You know, mental health cases are now 1 in 3 in the States. 1 in 3 people are being diagnosed every day with, you know, some type of mental illness. And, you know, it's for just the sake of that, we need to figure out some type of normal, but we need to do it in a protective, you know, safe way, not just like Texas did on Wednesday and said, okay, no more social distancing, no more masks, everything's open, there you go, have fun. And now everyone's going to die. But, you know, that's Texas, because Texas is its own state of insanity. It's worse than Florida sometimes. But I've lived in both places, I can say that. But it's bad. It's just, I want to be able to buy my tickets to a show and go see a show. I want to be able to sit at a normal table full of people and drink beer and listen to an acoustic set by some just local guy, you know, sitting at a brewery. Or I want to be able to, you know, go see a movie, you know, just stuff like that. And, you know, just for my own sake and my own mental health, you know, because especially somebody who's like me, who's bipolar, it's bad. And the only thing that's been my solitude this last year has been this show, which luckily I have the privilege of talking to 5 different guests a week, and I do this show for 10 hours a week. But music as well. And finding new music and discovering new music and talking to new bands and stuff like that has been really, really awesome. And I wish more people had the opportunity to do that. But being able to go see the shows again is going to be the first step in the right direction. Yeah, totally. I think, none of us are at the sort of point where we're going to get vaccinated yet. But for me personally...
I might be.
Well, you might be, yeah. But I was thinking about this even just like today. The last show I went to was February last year. We went and saw Trailer Dead play, and like it's not. I mean, a year's not really that long, but I really want to go to a gig.
I mean, it is ridiculous, Mark. Like, you know, when you think that the last gig you went to was February last year.
Yeah,
and like,
I mean, there has been things in between that, but it's not like the same.
Not been the same
at all. September 2019 for me.
Wow,
it's crazy, isn't it?
It was a long time.
Yeah, September 2019. Because up here, at least where I'm at in Virginia, a lot of the stages are outdoors, so they close for the winter. And then when everything was getting ready to reopen, everything was done. But so the last show I saw was Slipknot, Volbeat, Behemoth, and Gojira. Nice.
Nice.
I'd love to. I'd really like to see Behemoth. I think that'd be fucking great.
I want to see Slipknot again.
It was a fantastic show. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. And it was really weird because it went Behemoth and then Gojira, so just, you know, straight up hardcore, you know, hard metal, and then throw in Volbeat as your nice little palate cleanser right before Slipknot came on. But it was nice. It was a really great show. But that was the last show I went to. I had tickets to go see Five Finger Death Punch last year, but that got canceled twice. So yeah, I was supposed to go see Jawbox last June. That got canceled. They're like a band.
Oh, of course it did. Yeah,
band of my youth, and I was so excited, and that got canceled. But I think that once the vaccinations are done, and this, like, towards the end of the year, I personally think that we're gonna see gigs again, and I also think they're gonna be stronger as well, because I think people miss socializing with each other.
I'm hoping people realize what they've been missing, and
totally,
it'll come back with a force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I went to 10 other shows that year in 2019, and to not have to gone to any since then has been really bad. But I think it's going to be completely different. I mean, at least here in the States, to where pretty much every weekend or, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be a different tour in town. And it's going to be like just jam-packed full of freaking people all the time. And it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a whole new revolution of music. It's going to be a awakening. It's going to be a nice little renaissance period for music after this is all said and done.
Yeah,
I hope so. I hope so.
But that goes for comedy as well, and even opera and plays and everything else in between. Anything that involves a stage show, I think is going to be, where it's at. But it's also going to be the last thing to come back. So people are going to be, people are itching for it now, but as they start seeing other things open up, and then when that finally hits, tickets are going to be selling out like crazy, and it's going to be fantastic to watch. So,
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, especially for, like I said, for bands like y'all, I hope that, this really does take a turn for the better, and, we can just do what we do best, and that's entertain the masses,
I think the thing is like, with art always finds a way to like work, and that's the thing, is it doesn't matter what goes on, there's always going to be people creating stuff. So it's like, even if you can't go and do the gigs, even if we can't play live anymore, I've said like, this is what I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
it's not my day job, but it's something that I do. So I'm always going to be writing music, and we're always going to be writing music, and that's it. Is art, like, art will never die. It's just, it's going to evolve into ways that it actually comes out, really.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. And I can speak from experience on that. When I first started the show, it was before the pandemic started, and it was a way for me to expand my comedy career, to kind of, get more people talking about me. And then when the pandemic started, I lost my job, and I said, fuck it, I'm doing this full time. And, now almost 200 episodes in, over a year now doing this, it's like, if I didn't have this, I don't know what I would be doing. I'd be going crazy right now. But, being able to come on here, talk to bands, make stupid jokes, and, maybe come up with an idea for a new set while I'm, therefore when open mic starts coming up again and I start getting booked again, I have new material and stuff like that. It's been, it's been ever evolving for me. And I hope it's been ever evolving for a lot of other people as well. And I've seen it, a lot of other people, like, for example, a pretty prolific metal band here in the States, a band by the name of Trivium. The lead singer is streaming on Twitch every day, like for 6 hours a day, just playing music, writing music, and showing people the insides of how the band works, and doing live streams and doing this, and really bringing people in. And, I'm glad that there's some people that are out there doing that instead of just sitting at home going, all right, let me just collect a check.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah.
Give me that
It could
PRS
be, I
check,
think-
and that's all good.
Yeah,
It is nice to hear that, because like you said, a lot of bands will just have this kind of like image, or like they'll have this thing where it's like they're too big to let people in on them, or like behind the scenes or whatever. But it's good to find that way to connect with the audience still.
Yep. I mean, one of my favorite bands on the face of the planet is Avengers Sevenfold. And they completely dropped off the face of the earth over the last year. They've given us a little things here and there, and little interviews here and there. But they said, we're not putting out an album until we can tour again. Sorry, guys, basically is what they said. And they're not putting out singles. They're not doing anything. They're not even saying, hey, we have this recorded concert from 2016. Let's go ahead and put out a DVD or something. They're not even doing anything like that. And it's sad to see some of these bigger bands not doing that kind of stuff. But I'm glad some of the smaller, medium-sized bands and all the indie bands are out there just kicking ass. So, it's been a welcome, thing for a lot of different bands. So I'm glad that that's happening at least.
Yeah, we've yet to do a live streamy thing yet. We haven't been in a room together for over a year, I would say. But it's on the cards to do something, because obviously we can't gig at the moment. So
I've actually hosted on my channel and on my podcast a bunch of live streams. It's so much fun to watch the guys and the gals just completely just doesn't matter if they're in their basement or if they rented out a hall, just to do something. They put together some great performances just because they, wanted to feel like they were in front of a crowd again. Even though they're just staring at a camera, they were all about it, and it was some of the best times I've had on the show. So, I mean, it makes me miss it even more, but I'm glad at the same time I was able to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got to interrupt there because I'm actually going to have to leave.
That's fine. I'm getting ready to close it out anyway. So.
Okay, right. It's my dad's birthday today. We're doing a virtual pub crawl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again. You guys are awesome, and the new song is really cool. Guys, check out the video, which is linked below. Check out the video from last year, Dead Ends, which is really, it kind of reminds me of Shaun of the Dead, to be honest with you.
Nice.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it was
that's pretty.
But in a good way.
Good.
In a good way.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. But it was really good. I mean, the music's good. I can't wait for the album to release in April. I'd love to have you guys back again in April if possible to talk about the album once it officially drops.
Love to.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll definitely be getting back in touch with Mike to bring you guys back on once it officially drops, because I really want to talk more about it once I've got a chance to listen to it. So, but guys, until then, click the link for the video. Take a look at that. It's fun to watch. It's a great tune. But Harker, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, buddy.
Cheers.
No problem. Have a good one, guys.
You too.
Yeah.
All right,
Take
bye-bye.
care.
Bye-bye.
And that's our show, guys. So fucking cool to talk to those guys. I had a lot of fun talking with them, and I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. Learned a lot about how Europe and the UK is doing right now with everything, and all the political climate that's going on with them. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that conversation on music and everything else in between. But come back again tomorrow for another edition of Suck It Podcast. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay fucking heavy. We'll see you guys later. Peace.